All right, I'm going to do a real quick video here on blessing the Jews and being blessed for that. So we're going to go first in our Bible here to Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. Right there, you see it? It says, "Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed." Now, if you've seen my study on dispensations, you'll see that many of the things that were before the law, there with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, many of the things before Moses, basically, in the giving of the Ten Commandments and the law, Levitical priesthood and all that, many of the things back then apply to us today. And we're going to see that in this study. But you see there in Genesis chapter 12, verse 3, God will bless them that bless Abraham's physical descendants. And they still exist, by the way, the Jews in Israel. Not black Africans that think that they're Jews because they were slaves and they misinterpret Deuteronomy chapter 28, future video coming on that, or the white Europeans that think that they're Jews. Somehow, that they're God's chosen, the Jewish people, Aryan, blah, blah, blah. Satanism. Synagogue of Satan, the Bible calls it. In the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9, and chapter 3, verse 9. Watch out for that. Next, we're going to go to Psalm 122. Psalm 122. We're going to see another blessing here. You want God's blessing, this is how you get it. Psalm 122, verse 6. The Bible says, "Pray for the peace of Jerusalem, they shall prosper that love thee." Now, if you saw my study on the two flags of Israel, the Israeli flag with the hexagram in it, and then the Jerusalem flag with the line of the tribe of Judah, the two olive branches coming up on either side, the kotel, I'm not sure how you say it, the wall there where the temple's going to be rebuilt and everything, behind the lion. Incredible. They're actually prophesying the future return of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the line of the tribe of Judah. Interesting how the Lord can use even lost people for His glory. The earth is Lord's and the fullness thereof. Okay? Or fullness therein, I think. But the point is, again, you see another verse where God's blessing comes on you. You will prosper. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to tell some little stories here in just a couple minutes about how God blessed us and rewarded us because of our defense of the nation of Israel. And consequently, people that come out and attack the nation of Israel, they're going to get God's curse. Finally, we're going to go to Romans chapter 11, the greatest chapter in your New Testament, showing that God is not done with the nation of Israel. And as Christians, we shouldn't be either, in terms of attacking them and putting them down. Romans chapter 11, verse 28, it says, "As concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sakes," and they are. Jews today think that they are saved by good works. That's not true. Jesus Christ is the Savior. He is the Messiah. He is the only way to get to heaven. But as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sake. As touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sakes. Did you get that? Again, if you're Jewish, the New Testament's not against you. The New Testament lines up perfectly with the Old Testament, what you read in the Old Testament. Now, I'll start out here with one of my stories, and then you can do one of yours, and then
Actually,
I'll do mine.
Two. The Lord just put a second story in my head.
Two stories? Well, we only agreed to one. This is going to be a problem now. But
Three's a better number than two, biblically speaking.
Well, I have another story, so that's 4. Now what are we going to do? But I'm going to roll in a little bit of footage here of a truck that the Lord blessed us with. I do not like new vehicles, and you can see here this is a 1979 Ford truck. It's called a Camper Special. It's a neat thing. And on the side of the truck, I have Psalm 122, verse 6. And the reason I did that, we call it our Jerusalem truck because it's actually the same colors as the Jerusalem flag.
And the same pattern.
Yeah, same pattern. So, we put the line of the tribe of Judah there, on the side of the truck. And it's interesting because it's an older truck, and everything. And it was having some issues and things. I fixed up most of the issues myself. Some of it I couldn't do. It had to go for inspection. So we took it down to this garage, and the guys were just like, "Wow, this is such a cool truck and everything." I mean, it was really neat, and it it's just a really good time there, and they fixed it up, and it's running great. And I mean, we're just so blessed to have that truck, and the story behind it, is just how the Lord blessed us with that truck, and it's an amazing vehicle, and it's always been a dream of mine to have that style of truck and everything. I've had multiple old Fords and things, and it's been a long time, so it's really, really a blessing. And so I kind of said, okay, Lord. I mean, I was looking at a couple, and all of a sudden this one just showed up. I actually bought it off of eBay, and I'm like, whoa. And I saw the collar scheme, and I said to my wife, if Lord gives us that truck, I want to put a Jerusalem symbol, that line of the tribe of Judah, the Jerusalem flag. I'm going to put it right on the side of the truck, and I'm going to put the scripture, Psalm 122, verse 6, right underneath it. And then we're going to let the Lord just use that truck for His glory. So, praise the Lord for that. Okay, your turn.
Well, my two stories are from my lost life, both from the year 2011 when I was in the Boston, Massachusetts area. I don't remember the exact timing of them, but there was a Jew attending First Lutheran cult. First Lutheran Church of Boston, and they're just Catholic by another name, in case you already didn't know. But at First Lutheran cult of Boston, I don't remember his name, but this Jew, originally from the New York City area, he was formerly a restaurant owner, and he told me the story behind what brought him to Boston from New York City. And it was some kind of a community service function or something at the Bible building, and I offered to help him out with what he was doing there in the kitchen, and I also wanted to learn, how he did the various chopping up the food and everything, and so I just thought it was quite fascinating to pick his brain, figuratively speaking. Don't want to hurt anybody, so that's why I didn't try it literally. But anyhow, and so I tried to be a blessing to him, to help him out and to make his job go quicker at the Bell Building. And then the second event was I was attending a meeting with my National Society of Collegiate Scholars chapter on campus one day, and we were talking about a community service project. Didn't know about that at the time, what that all meant. And so I thought, well, who doesn't like working with animals? So I said to myself, wouldn't it be neat if we all did some kind of a project where we volunteered a cat shelter, a no-kill cat shelter, and there was one in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, right outside of Boston. And so I emailed the person in charge of the no-kill cat shelter, and I said, would it be possible that I could talk to you sometime about, what all you do there at the no-kill cat shelter? And so I talked to Shira Khan from Jamaica Plain there on whatever night that she said was good for her to talk to me. And she was telling me about what all goes on as far as what all she has to do to take the animals in, to keep them healthy, to rehabilitate them and everything. And before I went to meet up with her, I had run out of bread in my apartment in downtown Boston, or Dorchester as it's also called at the time, and I was thinking to myself, I can't get to the store yet. Where am I going to find bread? And so because of me being a blessing to her, the Lord, through her, blessed me with a whole brown paper bag of bread, kosher Jewish bread. And I have to slam the grocery store thing for a minute, because kosher Jewish bread blows out of the water any store-bought bread in existence. And so it was a really blessing, you know, to not only have bread again, so I could have some more meals at home, but also I found it fascinating to understand and learn what all goes on in a no-kill cat shelter. Mm-hmm. And the project never worked out. It fell flat on its face with my chapter. But the point is that as a lost person, I saw what happens when you're a blessing to the Jews, even as a lost sinner, and how God will bless you for that.
Right. And God has blessed America, in spite of America's sins, in spite of America's problems, because America has always sided with Israel. And what these Satanists are trying to do by turning professing Christianity, I can't say Christians, but what they're trying to do is turn professing Christianity against Israel, calling them the synagogue of Satan, which is impossible because they can say they are Jews, and they are. The verse in the two verses in Revelation 2:9, Revelation 3:9 which say they are Jews and are not, but they are the synagogue of Satan. Jews can say they are Jews, whether saved or lost, they're still Jews. Okay, so these Satanists are coming along, these replacement theology Roman Catholic heretics, and they're saying, no, the Jews are done, God's done with these people over in Israel, it's all finished. They're trying to bring God's curse upon this country. That's why I'm so much against this replacement theology stuff. People like Stephen Anderson and a lot of the other post-tribbers are, you know, replacement theology. And you will get there, by the way. If you are post-trib, you go, body of Christ goes through any part of it, you'll eventually become replacement theology. Guaranteed. Every single one of them. And then what they'll do is they'll try to draw you out for a while and, oh no, I'm for the nation of Israel, I'm for the nation of Israel. Church is going to be there along with Israel, which really doesn't make much sense. But, you know, we're kind of go into it together, and I'm for Israel, and then they'll eventually say, you know, after studying this thing for years, I have to come to the conclusion that the church has replaced Israel. Sure, you know, yeah. But I'll tell you my story now, so we have 4 now. But my story is that, well, our story actually, we had an old tractor that we had bought, nothing fancy or anything, just an older tractor. And, you know, when you live in northern Maine, you have to have equipment to move snow, you know, because we get a lot of snow up here. So just a shovel and, you know, whatever is not a real good idea. So we bought an old tractor, and I was fixing it up and everything else. And it was like, I don't even know what I'm doing with this thing. I mean, I'm not real good with hydraulics and whatever else. So I finally got the thing running. It died like midway through the winter, so we ended up having to use shovels a lot, and our neighbors helped us out, which was a real blessing. But I was trying to sell this thing, and I could not sell it, and I could not sell it, and I could not sell it. It just wouldn't sell. And we were talking about it, and my wife here, she said, you know, why don't you get these studies done defending Israel and defending the Jewish people, and see what the Lord does. The very next day, I'm outside working outside here, and a car pulls up, and the guy says, I'm interested in that tractor. I'm going to see if I can get the money for it. He drives off. Within 10 minutes, another guy pulls up and he says, I'm interested in your tractor. Tell me about it. And he goes, let me go home and talk to my wife. They came back a half hour later, the tractor was sold. You know, I don't believe in coincidences. Okay? So, and there are so many other things, you know, since we've been really defending Israel. I mean, God has just been so good to us. It's incredible. And just fulfillment of Scripture. That's the whole thing. We're not promoting prosperity gospel or do this and you'll get money and everything. No. No, that's not it. But it's a warning more than anything is the reason for this video. You bless Israel and you'll be okay. You start to believe the lies of replacement theology. You start to go against the nation of Israel, you're going to have problems. So that's going to be it for this video, and we thank you for watching.